and welcome back to another No Man's Sky video. I'm starting out on Westinghouse. This is in my system in the NMSA hub. This is the Great Glass Zeppelin, which is sort of stalled, mainly due to the fact that when the Desolation update dropped, I kept falling through the floor while I was trying to work because I've made it massively too big, and PlayStation wasn't coping with it. So I'm just popping over to this bit that I've literally just built, which is now my weapons testing area. So as you can see, I've got no electrical power up here, so I've had to put sodium lights in. So I was working on a maximum damage multi-tool when this post came up on Reddit about a supposedly 9,000 plus damage potential multi-tool. So yesterday I had a quick test out to see whether there was any difference between the base multi-tool and just any ordinary S-class experimental, and I think that I proved that there isn't. So I've got a couple of experimentals. I've got this one, which is my everyday one, which is sort of a general everything kind of a multi-tool, and then I've got this other one that I picked up recently, which is the Dreams of the Sky, because it had the incinerator on here. So this is basically an empty, ready-to-use multi-tool, which I've been using for rolling modules on. And then this other one, my final one, if I can remember how to switch multi-tools, is this alien strawberry looking one. The reason I chose an alien was because supposedly they have a 35% damage boost built in the S-Class. So as an S-Class alien, this should give me a 35% damage boost. But when I burnt into the statistics of it, which I think I might have done in a different video, the damage potential is a bit weird. So I know that the Scatter Blaster does in its base version 150 damage per shot, and each burst it fires 8 shots. So to me, the damage potential without any upgrades would be 2,700, I think, which is 8 times 150. Might have got that wrong. I'm not very good at maths. But anyway, it didn't seem to match up with what I was observing. So I went and got myself a C-class pistol and installed the Scatter Blaster on it. So my thinking behind that was, you get no bonus for it being a pistol, so you don't get any damage bonus, and a C-class, you don't get any damage bonus from that. So whatever the damage potential of the Scatter Blaster in the C-class, that must be its base damage potential. So I got that as 2,967.7. So I couldn't work out where that figure comes from, how they calculate it. So there's some kind of secret formula that Hello Games use. So my thinking now is that it's damage over time. So it says potential damage, and what I think it means is over a fixed period of time, how much damage could you potentially do? So if we switch to my Dreams of the Sky multi-tool, so this is the Scatter Blaster in an S-class, experimental, with no modules installed. So if I reload, cycle, empty. Every time I do a blast, that's 8 shots gone. So if you watch the ammo count at the top, each burst is 8 shots. So this is without upgrades. So let's reload, and we're ready to go again. So one cycle is built out of several factors. So let's run through one round, one set of ammo until it needs reloading. So if I hold my finger down, it does 2 bursts, a gap, 2 bursts, a gap, 2 bursts, a gap. So that's the full cycle. So what's happening there is you get 2 bursts, there's a time gap in between those, and then there's a cooldown for the burst, and then there's another 2 bursts, and there's a time gap in between each burst. So the time gap between bursts is affected by the fire rate, and the time between the first 2 bursts and the second 2 bursts, that's burst cooldown. So they're the factors that you can have on the upgrade module. So if I switch back to my my alien one, so this is the one that I've been working on that's got the upgrades installed. Make sure I'm reloaded. So on this one, let's have a look at the upgrades first, then we'll run a cycle. So on this one, I've got +3 damage, I think, on all of them. Oh no, that's a +2. But let's have a look at the stats. So you can have damage, clip size, so that's how many shots it holds, reload time, so that's when I press reload and it goes to the next one, and then shots per burst. I don't think reload time affects potential damage. I think potential damage is 1 cycle. And then the other 2 is shots per burst. So instead of firing 8 shots, it fires +1, so that's 9. If you've got an extra 1 per burst on each of your S classes, that gives you 11 shots. So that's 11 shots, 150 per shot. So that should increase the damage potential. But even with these 3 S classes, and they've all got an extra shot per burst, they've all got, well, 2 of them have got +3 damage, one's got +2% damage. My damage potential on that is only 5,741, and I've got them arranged in the most optimal order. So how on earth is the guy on Reddit getting 9,000? So what I think the thing is, and I need to test this out because I've been deliberately rolling this stat off, there's another stat which is fire rate. So let's run a cycle with this one, and we'll see the difference between this and the base stat, and then I'll tell you where fire rate's going to come into play. So we've got a fully loaded clip, we're ready to go. 3, 2, 0, 5, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, gap, and we're ready to reload. So I'm getting three sets of bursts. There's a smaller gap between the bursts, but the missing factor is fire rate. So within the 5 bursts that you get, there's a small time gap built in there, and I think if I roll specifically for a fire rate increase, so you can get 15% per module. I don't know if it's additive or multiplicative, so I don't know if it's 3 lots of 15 or if it's 15%, 15%, 15%, and that does make a difference, because if it's multiplicative then it will definitely have more effect. So I think the way it's working is they're getting more shots, they're getting more bursts in, and over a period of time that means they're doing more damage. So that's my theory, but the only way I'm going to find out is if I go and roll some modules, and I'm not going to go and get the green, the magic gun, as it were. I just think it's going to take me too long to go out and get it again. And I've got this, the Dreams of the Sky, which is empty and ready to use. Let's, I'm hoping this has got enough charge in it. Let's go to the base terminus, and I'll go to where I'm doing my module rolling, which is, it's one of the NMSA ones. I've chosen this one specifically. Oh yeah, the Lush Library. Lush Library Station Alpha in the NMSA hub. And hopefully I've got the paper freighter parked up there. And there's a very specific reason why I'm using this station. I mean, you can use any station to do it, but it's to do with the modules that the vendors sell. Because when I started out, I was doing pulse splitter and scatter blaster at the same time. Now, pulse splitter you can get a control, because there's only 4 stats in the pool, whereas on the scatter blaster in the S-class modules they added in the extra 2 stats to the pool, which is the burst stat. So my thinking was, on the S-class I was best off getting the burst stats, because I couldn't get those on the A-class. So I was intending to have A-class rolls in this as well. But anyway, we'll go swap out. So, just moonwalk my way out of the station. Always fun. So, let's go back over here. Planet Express, and here's my big boulder hauler. So I swapped out geared up specifically to do with the staff. Right, so there's a CSV file. So look at the results that I get. So I'm geared up. So jump out, which creates me a save point. I'll just check right. I'm got all my modules. Let's get back to the exosuit. Let's just go grab myself another off path. So I'm slowly but surely working my way up to 16. Oh, I've got the wrong guy. Oh dear, come on. Idiot. Right. I could pick up some green modules from him, but anyway. So. Where are we? Scatter Blaster. 586 nanites. I'm really running low on nanites now. I'm only down to 6,000, so I'm not sure how many cycles of this I'm going to be able to achieve. Let's pop back in the S class. Right, might as well save again, just for that extra module in. Right, so this is module rolling. So when I save, that marks my position in the list of random numbers. So that's like the seed of the random numbers list. So from that point, I'll always get the same rolls on each of these modules. And I can use the green cheaper modules to advance my roll for each cycle. So that's all my modules installed. You'll notice they're all saying overloaded, but it doesn't matter. So my targets on damage, we're looking for a 3. On reload, we're looking for a 25. On fire rate, we're looking for a 15. And on clip size, you always get an 8 if you get a clip size. I'm not sure whether I'm going to swap clip size for shots per burst, because I think that will improve things. But what we're mainly looking for is 15% on fire rate. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 3, the first 3, whatever comes up. If I've got a max roll on fire rate, we're going to keep that. So we're working off the autosave. I did a manual save back at the Zeppelin base. So I'm going to write these down as I go. So damage 2, reload 21, fire rate 11, so that's rubbish, and clip size. So we've looked out on the first one, that's no good. So 2, fire rate 14, that's good. So that's 1% off optimal. But we're not gonna have that. Probably not gonna have it. Maybe I'll wait till the end of this set, and we'll decide if that's good enough or not. 11, that's no good. Shots 1. Right. So, reload max, that's 25. Damage only 2. Burst cooldown 20%. That's max on burst. But fire rate again. So in the normal state of things, I would be considering that one because that's got 2 max stats on it. And my normal rule is 3 max stats and it goes in. And then once you've got your 3 modules, you can compare it and decide which is the best. So 2, 8. Reload time 23, 16, so yeah, that's middling. Not good enough to tempt me. 2, 21, 8, 1, nah. There's some real duffers in these rolls. Sometimes you hit a really good one, but most of the time they're just bin worthy. Right, we've not even seen a 3% damage roll yet. 16, 1, 21. No, that's no good. There we go, our first 3%. So 3% on the damage, 21 reload, clip 8, extra 1 for a burst. So see, we're not getting any with fire rate on. There's only been like 3 or 4 at the start, and they're not max rolls. And this is what we're working on. If I can find one that's got a max roll on fire rate, I'm gonna chuck that in the mix. Well, this really is just for testing to see if I'm right about this fire rate business, because the original poster on Reddit isn't getting back to me. I have tried to find out from him if he can tell me what the stats are on his modules. Last one, 3%, 13 fire rate, 21 reload time. What am I missing? Clip size, there we go. So, out of those modules, so how many have I done? That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're doing 14 rolls at a time now. From those, my notable ones of interest, concentrating mainly on fire rate, so it's module number 2. Gets me a 14% fire rate roll. So it might be worth doing that. So let's go for the reload. So reloading the autosave, which puts us back to the start of the seed. So that's back to the original roll. I don't know if I'm explaining this right at all. It works in my head anyway. If I quickly transcribing everything that I've just done. So this is all going to go in the spreadsheet at the end of this. I don't think there's really any pattern to it. It is random, but it's based on a seed value. So from that last set, we like the look of number 2. So what we do is we install module number 1, and then this one should be our 14%, yeah, 14% fire rate, that's the one. So let me get my brain around this now. So that's number 2. So to roll our way out of this, we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so we've got one, we've installed one. So yeah, it's the 13 roll to get to where we were. That makes sense. So each time I'm popping a module, that's advancing the seed by 1. So where are we up to now? So that's 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. 12, 13, 14. Right. So delete these. And that's it, that's one set complete. We've gained one module from that. So I'm lowering my standards a bit for this because we want to know whether fire rate is what's doing the boost to his damage potential. So I'm ignoring the percentage damage. Model to replace one that fused. Yep.
Product received.
So let's transfer that in. It's all nice and neat. Right, give me all your C classes.
Product received. 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 Product received.
I'm not sure if we've got enough there to roll out all of the S classes. I like doing it with a Starship module because it just installs straight into the Starship and then I can just destroy it straight away. Didn't go any of the thing. Right. We're almost back. Able to start over. Right, so that's, I'll be able to tell whether we've done it right because this should exactly mirror. Right, so we've got about 4 more modules to buy. So jump in, jump out, and we're reloading the autosave. So as soon as we've got 3 with a fire rate of 14 plus, so we're not going to roll an exact 15. We're just going to look at the fire rate of 14 plus. We'll head back to the target range and we'll test it out. Well, maybe we'll look at just damage potential and see what it says about that. So let's should now have a new stat blaster module to pick up. So that's getting us an extra one per round. Assuming I've got enough nanites to keep going. So wang that across the Starship. We go pick up some greens from this guy.
Product received. Product received. Product received. Product received. Product received. Product received.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go on another
Product
right
received.
onto
Product received.
fund this. I was already geared up for doing this anyway, so, but I'm intrigued as to whether this really does work. So about 30 minutes into the broadcast, jump out again. Right, so that's going to be our base save point. Right, I've got to remember that I've got one that's installed already and I don't want to destroy that by accident. This is why I normally do this with two multi-tools. So I roll in one and then I install in the other. Right. So I've just got to remember that the right handmost one is the one that we don't want to destroy. I've got to remember not to buy another S-Class as well, because otherwise we're going to have too many. Right, let's go have a look at stats then. So straight away that's probably going to be a keeper. That's 2% with reload 21, fire rate 14. So we're going to keep that because it's got the improved fire rate. 20% burst. So 2 damage, 23 reload. Fire rate 15%. That's a star on that one. So I think this is going to be enough to test the theory at least. So burst cooldown 18, reload 22, blank for the other stats. Oh, if we could find another 15, that'd be really good. 2, 23, 17, 11. Oh, look at that, 220, fire rate 15. Let's put a star on that one as well. 22. Yeah, I think this is a good roll. This is a good set. If I'd have got this one the first time round, I might have to make some decisions. So we've got 2, 19, clip 8. So 2. A couple of 20s in this as well for the cooldown. What's my final one? I'm at 11. Right. So 2, 17, 1.0, and an 8. So nothing for fire rate on that one. 2, 8, 20, 22 reload. So 2, 17, 1.0, 21. Look at that one. 3, 13, 20%. And the mixture on the burst. So that's 3, 21 on the reload. We're nearly at the end of this, and then we'll grab those 2 modules out of this that looked decent, and we'll go test out on those. Right, so our 2 keepers from that is number 2. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5. Right, so that's one we've already got, and we're going to add in number 2, which is 15% fire rate, and number 5, which is another 15% fire rate. Yeah, that'd be really good if it was a 3 damage, but it's not. So, exit out. Cheeky reload. We'll pop some modules, and we'll grab numbers 2 and 5, and we'll see what it says about damage potential. We've got to remember to put the C class module in as well to make it a fair comparison to the original post. Of course, he could have got some perfect rolls. And yeah, I don't think this is going to cut it. I don't think this is going to... Right, so pop number 1, install number 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, install number 5. Right, that's not even going to keep rolling. Let's just pop them around that one. Look at that damage potential. That is... Jesus, that is it. That's it. I didn't think this was going to work. Oh, not chloride lattice.
Technology installed.
Bastards. Right. Oh, not even got the chlorine for it. Right. Wham them across to the starship.
No free
Shall we finish?
slots in ship
We'll finish rolling out. But this is it. This is it. It is that fire rate. That is what's doing it. So we're on to number 5. We're doing 15 at a time, so we need to pop another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, this is it. This is bloody it. So it is, damage potential is definitely damage over time. Let's transfer these bits over to the high capacity. I really need some chloride. Let's and I know exactly where I can get some. It means making another stop on my way. In fact, have I got some salt? Can I whack that in my... Oh no. Right. Oh, hang on. I'm losing track of things now, aren't I? Right. I need to do this right. I need to go and get myself set back up for another sample. But this is definitely it. Even without the C-class, you can see it's got to be the fire rate. So we can hone this a bit more. And obviously, if I'd put all those modules in my alien multi-tool, I would also be getting the extra damage that grants me. Yeah, this is it. Right. So. Get all these across to the starship. I need to swap ships because I don't want to take this one with me. Go drop this off. Oh dear, I've got to answer the door. This has completely thrown things. I'm going to end the broadcast off, and then I'm going to come back and we'll do some testing.